The time for Oregon State has begun, so those the head coach and student athletes should be down here within the next 10 minutes or so. As a reminder, please make sure your cellular devices are silenced. Please address the student athletes individually using the microphone. We have 2 microphone holders who will get you the microphones. Please state your name and affiliation. One thing for this evening's second game, at least to begin, we'd like the reporters who are on deadline to have the first opportunity to ask questions. Same format with regards to an opening statement by the coach for 2 minutes, 8 minutes for the student athletes. They will then be released, and 10 minutes for the coach individually. While Oregon State will be first, Louisville is expected to bring Sam Furing, Erica Carter, and Asia Durr, along with head coach Jeff Walls. As soon as we get word that Oregon State is on its way, at that point their locker room will be open. Oregon State is on their way down to this press conference. Their locker room is now open. Joining us will be head coach Scott Ruick, along with junior Michaela Pivick and senior Katie McWilliams. Thank you for joining us. This procedure is different than yesterday. Coach, we will ask that you provide an opening statement for 2 minutes or less. We will then have questions addressed to the student athletes only, up to 8 minutes. The student athletes will be escorted back to the locker room, and then questions specifically for the coach for 10 minutes. Coach, if you could please provide an opening statement.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Louisville, first off. Excellent team, great defensive team, and then just made the plays, to win tonight. And that's what great teams do. They hurt us in transition. They had just a couple spurts where they separate. They hit big shots early in this game to get the initial separation from us over the top. Furian was tough, I thought. She just was a leader like she is. I loved our effort tonight, however. I thought we played an excellent game with the exception of shooting the ball. The ball just didn't fall, and that's basketball. They did a nice job taking the rim away, forced us into perimeter shots, but before tonight anyway, we were 4th in the nation in three-point percentage, so that's something that we're very comfortable with. For whatever reason, they just didn't go, so 2 of 22 in a game that's 10 points with 5 minutes to go. And so looking back, I liked what we were getting. I just wish there was another gear to hit or something else to do, but give them credit for taking the rim away. This team is unbelievable, incredible character, incredible heart, had a phenomenal season. Joe and Katie did a great job as seniors for us. And so afterwards, I just said thank you. I said thank you for doing everything right, for competing the right way, and being incredible role models. They've had a phenomenal season, and the ball just didn't bounce our way tonight.
Thank you. We will open it up to questions for the student athletes. Up here to the right, Doug.
Doug Feinberg, DAP, for both of you two. Just Coach said just shots weren't falling. Was it one of those nights where you were getting looks, just shots weren't going in the basket?
Yeah, I felt like we got a lot of really good looks from the outside. They were helping out before a little bit on the drives, and we had that kickback, and we also had a lot of opportunities from the guards to hit threes, and they just weren't falling for us today. We've had a little bit of a stretch this last month, probably, where we haven't shot it as well as we usually do.
Katie?
Yeah, the shots weren't falling, but I thought we had a great defensive game. We held them to 61 points, which is a lot lower than their average, and so just proud of what this team was able to do, even though we lost and even though we weren't shooting as well as we usually do.
Thank you. Additional questions for student athletes? Over here on the left, Howard.
Howard Mandel, High Post Hoops. Katie, question for you. Just when you think about where the program was when you came and where the program is now, what do you think the significance is of it that you're here in the Sweet 16, and that may even feel, like a disappointment, given all that you've accomplished and given all that the program is able to do.
It's been a high-end program ever since I came. My freshman year, went to the Final Four, and then another Sweet 16, Elite 8, Sweet 16. So, we're nothing but competitors, and it's nothing but a great culture and family program. They're going to be doing big things for a long time, especially under Scott, and I know that my teammates that continue to play here are just going to do amazing things as just basketball players and people.
Thank you. Any additional questions for our student athletes? Seeing none, we thank you for being here. Congratulations on a terrific season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go
Go
Beavs.
Beavs.
Questions for Coach up here on the right?
Hey, Scott, Doug Farmer, the AP. Katie kind of said it, but if you went to this game and someone told you Louisville will have 61 points by the end of the game and 44 after 3, I'm guessing you probably think you guys would be in pretty good shape to win the game.
I did. I just like I said, we got shots we knew we would get. We missed stuff at the rim even. We missed a couple free throws that we normally make, but I liked what we had. Defensively, I felt just as we studied them, it was nice to have more than a day to study them, in the depth that I wanted to from a year ago. I thought we made them go to the spots on the floor we wanted them to. We made them miss. We made them shoot 40%. We made them shoot or score 17.5 points less than their average. And that's what we do. We're known for that, and we executed those things. We couldn't get anything going inside. Give them credit. We got the shots for the most part that we wanted on the perimeter. They just didn't fall, and so I don't know. That's the basketball, I guess. But yes, I was very pleased with our effort tonight. Just unfortunate that it didn't go down, because it's a completely different game if we're hitting shots. They hit a bunch of shots, but they're up on the board. There's no scoreboard pressure. If we come out, we knock some shots down, we close the gap even sooner or earlier or further in the first quarter, then maybe some of those perimeter post shots are a little tighter, and that's the game. But they were able to keep us at bay, took pressure off them, and were able to continue to score in the fourth.
Additional questions over here on the right?
Nick Dassel from the Oregonian. Third quarter looked like you guys tried a few different things. I saw Katie play out at the point, and Michaela. Were you just trying some stuff just to kind of shake things up and hope to get some offense at some point? Or?
I'm always trying stuff, Nick. And so, yes, I was trying some stuff. Just the way they were shifting their defense, I thought could give us a couple different options. Moving Destiny around, I thought would be good for us. And so that was part of that. Katie, this team's been blessed with 4 point guards that have played significant time at the one, Katie being one of them. And so putting the ball in her hands has always been, for the most part, a good thing for us. Sees the floor so well. And so that was one thing to try, but you got to try something, when just to spark a little bit of confidence. And, what if one of those would have gone down? Honestly, it was one of those shots would have gone down. I think everybody could have just relaxed. And so it was like, okay, this is the one. This is the one that's going down. And this is the one. And there was a couple from the other side where I'm kind of lined up with the ball. It's like, that's going down. Just didn't. And give them credit for being great on the defensive glass. We won the boards by 8. Another category that I felt great about. However, when we needed that extra little O board, they did a great job on the defensive boards to hold us to 1 shot.
Thank you. Over here on the left.
Hey, Coach. Izar from NBA Online. When you look up tonight, there was a few teams from the Pac-12, like UCLA, Arizona State, Stanford. When you look up, there's a slew of teams that came into this tournament. I know you can't speak for everybody, but just talk about how tough it is to win in the Pac-12, and what does it say when you have that many teams coming down this deep into the tournament?
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to be a part of such a fantastic group. The the competition in our league, it feels like tonight, every night. You know, our last 9 games, I'm a big Massey rating fan. I don't know if anybody else is, but I personally, I go there. I've gone there ever since my D3 days because they rate Division III. Right now, there's 9 teams in the top 35. Our last 9 Pac-12 games were against those teams. The Sweet 16 teams, Cal, and Arizona on the road. And so it's just been an absolute grind. And so we're all battle tested. It didn't surprise me that UCLA came in and played the way they did tonight with as much toughness as they did in their game. Nothing fazed us tonight. It was just a night where the ball didn't go for us. And in fact, we just walked by the scoreboard. This is the same score as our Stanford game down there, where it was an amazing defensive performance. The ball just didn't fall for us, and that's actually where our shooting struggles began that night, on a night very similar. You know, and so this conference, I knew everybody would be battle tested and ready for the tournament, no matter what tournament it was, and that they would do well. So I don't see it changing either. You know, the coaches are just too good throughout, and everybody's recruiting so well and working so hard.
Question here, Howard.
Hi, Scott. Howard Mandel, High Post
Howard.
Tubes. Hi. As someone who's sent plenty of players to the WNBA, I'm curious in 2 parts. Number one, when you think about for Destiny and getting her from here to there a year from now, what do you see as what needs to happen next? And just also on Asia, just from seeing her up close the last couple of years, what do you think stands out and will make her an elite pro at the next level?
Yeah, and hopefully for Destiny it's 2 years. You know, she's got 2 for us. Well, they're both dynamic. When you look at a player, you know, and like you mentioned, we've put 4 in the WNBA the last 3 years, and each one of them had a unique skill. Each one of them was unguardable one-on-one. Each one of them commanded a double team. Each one of them had an incredible work ethic and had ultimate confidence. You know, and so Destiny's on her way. Taking a year off is hard. Last year for us, she played the 3 in practice because we needed Michaela Pivic and Aaliyah Goodman to get every rep at the point, because those were our point guards last year. And so for her to now step into the 1, to step into a conference that defends and is as tactical as the Pac-12 there's been growing pains for her. We defend differently than anything that she'd been used to. And so I just spoke to her in the locker room and told her how proud I was of her taking on all this year with so much scrutiny and pressure and so many eyes on her in this limelight position that she's in. I've never coached a player with that much hype and that much attention going into a season with 0 experience playing for us. I mean, it was really a unique year. I think she's handled it phenomenal. She's got another gear to hit in preparation. You know, the game's so easy for her. Show up and be the best kid on the floor, get a shot off whenever you feel like it. You know, and she's just so dynamic in her skill set and her athleticism. For her, the future is just a different level of prep in every way, and just to see herself as somebody that is a number 1 draft pick, you know, and to do all those things. And so she's on her way. It's been a good learning year. For Asia, I mean, what can you say about her? And she's elite in every way. You know, I was thinking before the game, just that commitment for Louisville, what that's meant for them to get her, and what she can do for that team and how she makes everybody so confident. Her ability not only to create her own shot, but to draw defense, to understand the game, and to create opportunities for her teammates as well. And then you saw a couple fantastic defensive plays. She's somebody that's a fantastic on both ends of the floor, which at that level you've got to have. And then I like her ball security. She doesn't make mistakes, you know, and I know at the WNBA they don't like turnovers, you know, and so she's going to be a fantastic pro. Yeah. And she's a classy competitor too. I'll tell you that. I haven't interacted with her much, but even tonight, I mean, it was a real nice greeting after the game. Congrats, coach. You do a great job. I mean, she doesn't need to say that stuff, but she did, and so I'm a fan.
One more, if we have it, over here on the right.
Scott, obviously you guys have proven during the season you're a really good shooting team from the perimeter, but the last few weeks haven't been, you know, real great. Is it possible, you've talked about the grind, did fatigue set in here late in the season maybe, and maybe that was a little bit of the reason?
Maybe. We shot lights out in our practice yesterday. And we went the bare minimum amount of time that we could, and we didn't miss. Maybe that was a problem. Maybe I should have cut off practice as soon as we made a shot and said save them for tomorrow. But I don't know about that. I mean, layups are easier to make through fatigue for sure than perimeter shots. But there's a lot of threes going down for other teams. The grind of the conference, who knows? I mean, you can speculate all you want. I don't know. There's no way for me truly to know that. Shots look good to me. But it has been a grind, I'll tell you that. It has been a grind. But I liked our energy, I liked our effort, and we defended extremely well, and so I think we had plenty of fuel in the tank. Just didn't fall.
Coach, thank you very much
All right.
for doing
Thank
this.
you very much.
Congratulations on a terrific season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. As you can see, we've been joined by Louisville head coach Jeff Walls, along with student athletes Sam Furing, Erica Carter, and Asia Durr. From a format perspective, Coach will begin with you with an opening statement for just a couple of minutes. Then we'll have questions for the student athletes only. And if I could remind you, ladies, to please be sure to speak into the microphones. And then after the student athletes are escorted back to the locker room, we'll have 10 minutes with you, Coach. If you would, please.
Yes. First, I'd like to start off and congratulate Oregon State. We knew coming into this it was going to be a hard-fought game. Scott does a remarkable job with that program, with his team. They're always very well prepared, run multiple sets at the offensive end of the floor, and then we'll throw different defenses at you. So I thought, we did a really, really good job of preparation. Coach Purcell, Coach Williams, Coach Norman's my assistant coaches did a remarkable job. And our players were confident in what we had gone over. And that's half the battle. When you can step onto the court when a game's about to start and your kids feel confident in what you've gone over, it really it gives you a good sense of just calm. So really, really pleased with how our young women played. Everyone, I thought, gave great effort, and then everybody had a little bit to do with it throughout the entire game. And that's what you have to have. I say it all the time. We might not have the best 5 players on the floor every single night. Our margin for error is thin. But I do believe when we all play together as a team, we're a pretty darn good basketball team.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes? Up here on the right.
Is that Mel asking a question? Hey, wake up.
Doug Feinberg, the AP. Asia, can you talk about the defensive effort tonight? I know yesterday we were talking about how you guys don't get probably as much credit as you deserve for the defense that you play, but to hold that team to as many points as you did tonight, just the defensive effort you guys put on.
I think we played hard throughout the whole game. We made them take tough shots, and it was a whole what am I trying to say? It was a whole team. It wasn't just one player or one person. So during this time of the year, that's what it comes down to. It can't just come down to just one player guarding their best player. It has to come down to the whole team. So that's what we did a great job of doing that tonight, and I'm glad that we got the win.
Other questions for our student athletes? In the back, to the right.
Whitney Harding, WHAS in Louisville. Asia, you're usually the three-point threat. Tonight it was Sam to start the game. How cool was that? And Sam, when did you really know that you were feeling it tonight?
Wait, you asked 2 questions. That's great. Whitney, you know, I'm proud of Sam. You know, I've said it all year long. Like, my teammates can score, so that goes to show you that's what they do. So I'm very confident in them and very proud of Sam for showing off that 3-point shot.
Thank you, Asia.
You're welcome.
But when did I start feeling it? I mean, shoot around, we've practiced it. Coach Walls has given me confidence in that. The coaches have. My teammates have too. But, yeah, it was all shoot around really and preparing for the game. That's why I shot it and it went down. So I just kept shooting it.
Additional questions for our student athletes? Yes, in the back, on the left.
Who is the best player at Scrabble right now in the lobby?
Scrabble?
Yeah, there's a Scrabble board in the lobby.
Tom, that's not fair. I haven't played.
I didn't know.
I would definitely win if we played.
Well, I'll expect
Don't
a report
believe
later.
Definitely me. I was in
Don't
the spelling
believe
bee
it.
All right.
too.
If you
Or
need a
Sam.
ringer, give me a call.
Got you, Tom. Tom's the man.
Up here on the left, Michelle.
Asia, forgive me for going ahead already to Sunday, but it's going to come up pretty soon. You guys are going to be playing UConn again. Can you reflect back on the victory you had against them at the end of January? You guys did a lot right in that game, including 11 3-pointers, out-rebounded them, and what it'll take to try to do that again on Sunday.
The same thing, but 10 times more. We're going to get their best shot, you know. So it's going to be a challenge for us, guarding them. I'm very confident in my team, though, and we're going to accept this challenge and have fun with it.
Anything to add, Erica, with regards to playing UConn again?
I think Asia hit it on the head. You know, we just got to come out and play hard. It's March Madness, so everybody's going to give you their best shot. We got to make sure that we did the things good again this time and fix the things that we didn't do so good last time.
Yep.
Up here on the left, Howard.
High Post Hoops. Asia, this one's for you. Scott talked about your defense, and defensive metrics really love the game you've put up, especially this season. I'm wondering whether you think that people are starting to catch up to, with perception, the reality of your defensive abilities.
My defense?
Mm-hmm.
What are they saying?
I think they're saying it's good.
Uh-oh.
Appreciation for it.
Whoa,
and,
that's nice.
And the numbers reflected. Your synergy numbers are top 10%. And things like
so that means
that.
I'm like Gary Payton now? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but do you think that? Do you think that
No.
your defense? No, you don't think.
Do
so.
I think my defense what? I'm sorry.
Do you think your defense deserves greater appreciation than Scott? And there's been a large amount of focus on your offensive game throughout your time at Louisville.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you that. I really don't pay attention to what people say. So, I don't know. I just try to dial in. I know my team needs me to guard, and I don't want to be the weak link, so I just try to step that up.
It's definitely improved. As a freshman,
Well, when you got two hurt groins.
Lolo could go by her.
Well, when you got two hurt
At
groins,
age of 2.
anybody can go by you. My grandma can. No, I'm just kidding.
Any additional questions for our student athletes? Seeing none, ladies, thank you very much for being here. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Those pretty nails. Nice job. Thank you. I always say nice things about you.
No, next time. We'll start. Go ahead. On the right-hand side, we have a question for.
All right, Coach. Jim Clark from Women's Hoops World. You tied a low scoring number on the season. What was it like battling that defense?
No, Was that our low, you say? Was it? Tied it, okay. You know what? I thought we came out extremely well in that first quarter. The first quarter, I thought, we came out, we were focused, the ball was moving, and then we got a little stagnant there in the second quarter, only scoring 9. But we're fortunate that we continued to defend, and that's one thing that we continue to talk to our players about is, if the ball's not going in the basket, you can't worry about it, and then you've got to get back down the other end of the floor. Our goal every night is to get 70 plus. I think it's in our game notes. Nick's got it in our game notes. Our record when we score 70 plus is pretty impressive throughout our 12 years here. So, that's our goal offensively. But in a game like this where, Scott does a great job of executing, and they're going to run through their stuff, and there's not a ton of shots. We had 57, they had 56. And then there's 13 free throw attempts for them, 11 for us. So it wasn't a high possession game. So when that's the case, you've got to make sure that you're being efficient at the offensive end. I think the stat of the game for me, what I'll talk to our kids about is we give up 11 offensive rebounds, but they only turn those into 3 points. We ended up with 4 offensive boards and came up with 5. And that's what you have to figure out a way to do. You've got to figure out a way to get some easy baskets. And one of those, I believe, led to a 3 in the first quarter.
We have a question from Doug.
Jeff, Doug Feinberg, DAP. You always joke about how you win games by scoring more points than the opponent.
Yep.
But it seems a lot of success you've had in the NCAA tournament and getting to the Final Fours is on the defensive end. Looking at the other game tonight, defense helped UConn win. Other games around the country, same way. Is defense more important in the sense at this time of year because everyone's scouted everyone well enough to know what to do?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and yes, it's important. But I really believe if you want to win in March, you've got to figure out a way to score. Especially on Sunday. I mean, we're going to be playing a team that puts the ball in the basket at a pretty high rate in UConn. But of course, we sit here and we take great pride in putting a scouting report together. We play each and every individual player differently, and our kids do a remarkable job of it because it's not easy. I mean, I tell people all the time it's another class. They're taking 15 hours in college, and this is another class because of the detail that has to go into it. But they've done a remarkable job all season, and that's how we've been able to continue to have success. So, yeah, we'll come out here on Sunday with a plan. We're going to have to do everything we can to at least make them take contested shots, and then we're going to have to rebound the basketball because that's the one area that obviously we got out rebounded again tonight by 8, and that's always been a concern of mine.
We have a couple questions on the left here.
Hey, Coach. Azar from MB Online. Earlier, I asked a question to Oregon State coach about how impressive his conference was with the Pac-12. When we look at your conference with NC State and, of course, the champs, Notre Dame, when you're playing teams like that, how in your conference, how much preparation does it give you going forward when you're facing a team like UConn in a tournament?
Well, I think it's a ton of preparation. The one thing about our league that I've always enjoyed is there's so many different styles of play. It's not just one style, and that helps prepare you for the NCAA tournament because there's somebody that you're going to be able to tell your players, hey, this team reminds me of Syracuse. This team reminds me of Miami. Whoever it might be within the league, and because we have. I think such really good coaches in the ACC, they're going to throw different looks at you. They're going to challenge you. The one thing that we knew coming into this tonight that Oregon State was going to change up defenses. And I thought, we handled that really well. And that's because that's what you get when you play Clemson. And that's why I think you have teams in the ACC that have success in postseason because you are prepared for it throughout your league play.
Another question on the left.
Eric Crawford, WDRB. Jeff, they went 2 for 22 from 3, and they can shoot it pretty well. Sometimes it's just the ball not going in. Did you do anything special in terms of getting out on their shooters or rushing shots?
Eric, you're right. I mean, we gave up a few open looks, like the one at the end of the third quarter, was a straightaway 3 from the corner, I believe, for McWilliams, who normally knocks that down. But I thought we had a little bit to do with it because I thought we got them playing a little faster than what they possibly normally like to play. And when you're sitting there and all of a sudden there's a great look and here comes someone flying at you, your routine speeds up. And then all of a sudden you're a little shorter or you're a little long. And I think we had something to do with that. But at times it is luck. I mean, I think there were 2 or 3 that were halfway down and popped out. And that's why I always say this time of the year, anything can happen. And then you've got to get a break here or there in order to figure out how to squeeze out a win.
Another one to the left.
Jeff, UCLA gave UConn a good run in that fourth quarter. Just UConn was UConn. UCLA's never beaten them. Your kids have at the end of January. How important is that to have that confidence of having beaten them?
Well, I think it's really important. I think that just to have that, knowledge of, hey, we can do this. We've done it in the past. They were at full strength when they came to our place. And at the same time, you can't be overconfident thinking, oh, hey, all we have to do is show up. We beat them last time. I'm sure to be out there somewhere, but I mean, when's the last time someone beat them twice in one season? Was it in 13 maybe? Did Notre Dame beat them twice in 13? I mean, it hasn't happened very often. So we know what's in front of us, and it's now you're in the tournament. I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, gosh, you're on the same side as UConn. You're on the same side of the bracket as UConn. Well, I can tell you from experience being on the opposite side isn't very good either. I mean, I think we still own the record for the worst defeat in a title game. So, it hasn't worked out very well for us being on the opposite side. So let's see how this works out. But it's going to be fun. I've got the utmost respect for Gino and for what he's done. I mean, how many Final Fours in a row have they been to? 11? I've got to use my toes to get to it. I mean, I tell people he makes it look easy, and it's not easy. It's really remarkable, and we're going to have a chance to come in here on Sunday and lace it up and see what we can do. I mean, we're going to give it everything we have. I tell my kids all the time, if we're going to lose a ball game, I want to lose just simply because we missed shots. I don't want it to be because we didn't give great effort, we didn't follow a scouting report. I just want it because, we missed shots. We got good shots, we just missed them. And it happens sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, we're excited. We're going to enjoy this win tonight, which I guess it's over already. And then we'll sit tomorrow, and it's not going to be one where we're up and down and doing a whole bunch because we just can't. We have to get some rest.
One more on the right.
Hi, Coach. Megan Gower, her hoop stats. You guys made it really hard for Oregon State to get the shots they wanted inside tonight. How do you translate that into Sunday, especially with the likes of Collier in the post?
Well, it's just going to be different. I mean, it's a completely different look for us, how they spread the floor. It's going to be a challenge. I mean, Nafisa's playing as well as anybody in the country. I enjoyed watching her in high school and then having the opportunity to work with her with USA Basketball. She's a competitor. Same thing for Katie Lou and Crystal. I mean, what Crystal did there in that fourth quarter was pretty darn impressive. She threw them on their back and said, "Come on, people, let's go." I think it was either a 7-0 or a 9-0 run that she had herself. And they were not easy shots. That 1-3 she hit off that screen was from about 24, 25 feet. And then the step back she hits driving on the left baseline were difficult shots. So, we're excited for it. And we're going to enjoy this tonight, though, and then get a plan together and come out on Sunday.
Thank you, Coach. For additional comments from Coach, please see Nick Evans. Otherwise, thank you for your help.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you all for staying up this late.